2, 1, 0, and liftoff.
Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of Mission Control. This is your host, Ramon Peralta with Peralta Design, and we launch brands, and we've got an awesome show on deck for you today. Please help me welcome the one and only Jay Norris. I don't know where to begin here because you gave me an org chart, but he is the founder, co-founder of Startup Westport and the ThoughtPartnr app. Jay Norris and Co. holding company. You got a lot going on here. We're going to get back to it. I want to welcome Jorge Pezo Candelario, also our Director of Web Development here at Peralta Design.
Thank you, everybody. I'm so excited for this show. This should be one for the ages.
This is one for the ages. Jay, you gave me an org chart, man. What's up with that?
Well, you know, it's funny. And for one, let me just start by saying thank you. I'm honored to be on your show, Ramon.
We're glad to have you.
So much about you and you as well, Jorge. I love what you guys have built, and I'm just honored to be up this way.
Yeah, man. We're just happy and grateful we finally got you here, because it took some trial and error, as most I think Edison failed 10,000 times before he got electricity and the light bulb. But we got you.
We finally made it in, man.
You're here, man. So you're heavily involved, as you put it, with innovation. Where innovation in commerce meets community. But let's talk about AI, because ThoughtPartnr is driven, and you've got all these ventures, Global, Guest, AI, and human coaching. Yep. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. So let me tell you about my AI journey and the chapter and how we got here. So I'm also, as you see the list of the roles that I play. I'm the chairman of the Manhattan Chamber of Commerce. And I sit on innovation and technology. I sit on that council. And so for the last couple of years, when AI started, I started hearing more about AI. It was my job to go out and research and find out how to implement AI strategies to 20,000+ members that we have at the chamber.
Wow.
Okay. So I started doing my research then, and Startup Westport is another philanthropic venture we started. One of the other board members was the head of AI for Meta. So I told Dan, I said, Dan, hey man, I need you for a minute. I need you to come speak to our cohort of restaurant retailers, everybody that's interested in AI. And so we did some AI events. I call them like tentpole events, and some lunch and learns, some breakfasts, just centered around AI and what's happening. So we did that at a 30,000 square foot looking down view. After the event, guys, the small businesses that I represent started reaching out to me. Hey, Jay, hey man, that was great. Thank you. We know all about machine learning now. We know all about these topics on AI. However, how is this going to help me in my business? I don't understand how to take what was told to us and apply it to our businesses. So I said, let me think about that. We did another event. Same thing happened. So the jury was out for me. I love looking at researching pain points for small businesses. Right. That's my passion. And that's why I said, look, let's do surveys with businesses across the country, but more importantly here in New York, find out where they are in their AI journey, and let's solve for it. So I decided to put a team together, and I created a head of AI, head of research, and I said, let's create the training wheels for SMBs on AI, because we can see the divide. There's a lot of medium to large size enterprise businesses that have heads of AI in their organizations. However, our small businesses can't afford that. They can't afford it. So essentially, ThoughtPartnr was created because I'd love to make sure that all the businesses look at themselves as thought leaders, right? We're our own thought leaders. We're our own visionaries of our entity. Look at AI as your thought partner. So instead of AI leading you, humans lead AI. And it's all about your thoughts, your prompts, your questions, your queries to get the right responses. So on ThoughtPartnr, You can go on our platform, and we did it a different way. We decided to, instead of doing it one-on-one as far as bringing on one business at a time, we said, let's partner with chambers of commerce across the U.S. They sent on millions of businesses. It's their platform. So, for instance, I live in a town called Westport, Connecticut, as you know. So the Westport Chamber of Commerce has about roughly 400 businesses. It's for them. So it's Westport Chamber AI's platform powered by ThoughtPartnr. So they get to white label the platform and use it for their
and
members.
they become more attractive to business, because I think
Right.
the challenge is implementation. We all know we need it,
Right.
but how do we incorporate it
Exactly.
into our business? And I was
And
on this. Go ahead.
notoriously, to that point, business is normally slow to adopt and implement. You know what
Correct.
I mean? The public is quick to adopt and pick up. My daughter was using ChatGPT in high school. Like
There we go.
She was
So-
on it, like right off the rip. But businesses take that 3 to 5 year adoption timeline. In which case, the larger businesses are going to be ahead of the smaller businesses because they haven't had the opportunity, they haven't had the leadership. So, just a vision of having, hey, we need to be able to find the solve for these people who don't know.
Immediately.
Yeah, I got to
Immediately.
drop this one. A vision without action is a dream.
Exactly.
Action without vision is a nightmare.
Ooh.
That's a Japanese proverb.
Wow.
Wow, that's
Love
really
that
good.
one, Ramon.
All right, so
I got to
Ready.
write that one down right now, man. That's a good one. But essentially, that's really what it was,
Yeah.
guys. I was like, let's build a platform that can give them action.
Yeah.
But first, training wheels that they need.
Right.
Because no one wants to feel like they're off, right?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to get.
and a low barrier to entry, like it's doable.
More importantly, it's free.
Yeah, there you go.
that
Best price.
usually, the best price is free. However, the chambers of commerce have had a mission for
Yeah.
hundreds of centuries now to be that pillar to help these businesses thrive.
Right.
So I'm like, if you're not stepping into innovation,
Helps them stay relevant.
right, just help them stay relevant. But more importantly, innovation is how you stay relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Without innovation, it's not going to happen. We saw it happen with the digital divide. Companies that did not adopt that online channel.
Right. Especially during COVID. Like
Right.
If you weren't mobile ready, mobile pickup, you were exposed.
You were
You were out of business.
you weren't exposed.
You were out of
You
business.
were out of business, okay? And you were wondering what's happening. So I used to always, Guest software actually is an omni-channel reporting platform that actually tracks the retail sales and restaurant sales for customers all over the country. And we plug into their POS system. So Shopify, Square, Clover, Toast, and really I like to say, we track consumer insights. We track consumer swipes and taps. When you buy something, we see that data. We share it with property owners or lenders so that they can do better deals with their merchants. Okay? So that's what Guest software does. So as I was thinking about ThoughtPartnr, I was also thinking about, channel. It's called channel optimization. Like we just talked about, that online channel, there's the brick and mortar channel, then there's the online channel. AI is the next channel. And I'm like, you need to be with it. You have to be on this, in this space, because if you don't, you will lose. Because essentially every business unit you have can be applied to AI. For instance, on our platform, you can download our a couple different tutorials on how to use AI for marketing, how to use AI for operations, how to use AI, and it will share another AI platform that has a specific solution for your vertical, or you have a human coach. So that's where the human coaches came in, meaning it's not enough to just, you've been on chat, you've been on Gemini, you pull up the data. However, to have trust to move on that data is another thing. That's why they hire people like you guys, right? Like, I want to do social media. My gut tells me, I think I know how. I need to speak to Peralta. I need to speak to these guys. They're the trusted advisors in that space.
Right.
So I said, let's build an AI platform that essentially can provide you with the information that you need. You ask the prompt to query, how do I do better accounting? Comes up for my restaurant, right? However, you now get paired with another restaurant in that area that could be your mentor or mentee or trusted advisor in that space. And they become coaches. So human coaches in that local area. So we're still using all the data from the chamber. And so essentially you have the data. Now you have a trusted advisor in that space. They can coach you on how to use that data because they've helped them optimize their business. And that's where I said, okay, this is human-led AI. That's where we need to be. Can't
Literally
let AI
cooked
lead
up
us.
the recipe for action. Those are the things that hold up people the most, is A, not having the knowledge, not having the data, and then not having the experience. And you said, I'm going to empower them with both. So they still feel independent. They still feel like they're at the helm of their own ship.
Yep.
Now they have the information they didn't need, and they have the advisor that's helping them chart the course, which is just...
Oh, you got it. And essentially, that's also a thought partner. That trusted advisor becomes your thought partner. That's what you guys do for your clients. You know, you want to make sure that they're thought leaders. They created the business already, right? But they need you guys as their thought partners. And you come in and advise them on how to, brand their strategy.
When we come back, we're going to learn all about the story behind the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Jay Norris.
Ever tried Paint and Sip? Well, this is Paint and Kicks. Kicksmith Studio was founded by a group of sneaker enthusiasts with the goal of sharing their love of sneakers in a new and creative way. They believe that sneakers are more than just footwear. They are a form of art that reflects self-expression and culture. Their goal is to provide a fun, inclusive, and innovative space where anyone can explore their artistic side and create something truly unique. Kicksmith Studio is one of Peralta Design's most recent brand launches, and they are a great place for team and corporate events, birthday parties, or date nights. For more information, visit kicksmithstudio.com.
3, 2, 1, let's go. We launch brands.
And we're back. Please help me. Welcome once again, the one and only Jay Norris. Let's get ready to rumble. That's what I feel like sometimes. So, Jay, great opening segment. Tell us how you became the AI catalyst.
Man, let me just take it back.
Way back.
I'll take it back. You want to go back? Born and raised in Detroit, Michigan.
Motown.
Yeah, born and raised in Detroit, Motown. And, when I think about it, people always ask me, Jay, what do you do? You do a lot. And I say, well, you know what? I do a lot. However, when I look back in my life, it always goes back to what I was telling you earlier, guys. I started in Detroit. You heard in Motown, innovation meets commerce meets community. Think of Berry Gordy. What did he do? He was very innovative. He made the commerce and community is what he built with Motown. And to me, that's something that I got a chance to witness when I got with Arista Records. When I got to New York City, I went to Howard University, and I got to
Go Bison.
Yeah, go Bison, baby. Go Bison. HU. When I got there, and then I started working with Clive at Arista Records, and I quickly became known as the tastemaker. Like, I was known as the tastemaker. And the reason why...
Bougie?
Yeah, let's go. No, but because I had my eyes and ears on the street of what was happening, so they looked at me and said, Jay, you can help us with cultural currency. So this was back in the days, guys, when a record, if it didn't hit big on radio, you can forget about it. An artist, if it didn't hit big...
It wasn't on heavy rotation.
Yeah, if it wasn't, it was a wrap.
Yeah.
So I was known as the tastemaker because I was known as the guy that built cultural currency. So they give me an artist, for instance, Alicia Keys, whoever it may be. And this was when he had J Records, Alicia Keys. People didn't know this. Alicia had been dropped from major labels before Clive got her. Yeah, she had been dropped from, I think Tom Mottola had her at Sony for a minute. And she had been dropped. And so they were trying to figure out, where does she fit? Because that music didn't fit. It wasn't pop music. It was more soul, R&B. And I was known as like the eclectic marketer. So I would actually go out, find an audience, put the artist on, put the butts in seats, invite the right influencers in each city, and they would actually do almost like focus groups. 100 people in a room, they'd have little surveys. And
Hot or not.
Hot or not. It was kind of like hot or not. And of course, Alicia passed that hot test, right? And I remember saying, wow, they would advance more capital if it was it's 80% hot. It was 70, 80% hot. Mm-hmm. Then they can advance more capital. So I was responsible for that. And they call that the Tastemakers Tours. And, you know, it's like not just the artists, but it's the people in the seats were the influencers. And if they said yes, that means the town would get behind it. So when I look at kind of what I'm doing now, very similar. Once again, innovation, commerce, community. You see, these patterns have always been in my life where I've always tried to think innovative on solutions, right? Then it was like, okay, well, innovation is great, but it's gotta make money at some point, right? It's commerce.
There's a common thread for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You went from music to real estate. What was that
right.
like?
Now, real estate was very similar to me because it was what I call neighborhood amenities. And I truly believe in that. It's like the fabric and the backbone of this country. Most people don't know that the small to medium-sized businesses in this country make up about 44% of this country's GDP, about 12 to $13 trillion, small businesses. But those small businesses often sit in certain neighborhoods, in certain communities. And so I made the jump to real estate for one reason. I saw up and coming mom and pops that needed an opportunity to expand. So I started doing retail leases, expanding restaurants, expanding retailers, expanding concepts. So once again, that's kind of how I got into real estate. It was more like, let me help you expand your brand.
The real estate is literally community building.
Exactly.
At the foundational level.
Right. And that to me is what I call, neighborhood building 101, brick by brick, and that to me is how I got in the real estate side. But then also here we go. Once again, I recognize something. I was doing a lot of deals in real estate, and I could see property owners wanted their rents from their tenants, but they were trying to hit them with really high base rents. And I said, well, why don't we do something? Why don't we do more of a percentage rent deal where you can lower your base rent and the property owner can have a percentage of that sale that you did. So that way you guys are connected together and your success is their success. It's a mutual success.
And it seems like you brought the Guest software.
That's what Guest does.
You kind of got into, this is where you kind of went from real estate into tech.
There we go. That's where the intersection happened, is when I said, because I had a lot of deals, guys, that would sit there. And I said, damn, you could have taken that deal. That's a great restaurateur. That's Marcus Samuelson or whoever it may be, a well-renowned chef. Why are you charging them this much? You could actually get a piece of their sales and make a little more than that base. But they were like, yeah, Jay, we don't trust them to report their sales accurately to us. That's what I heard from landlords. I said, what if I could build a third-party verification platform that would share the actual sales in real time? You could look at your phone and see what the sales were. I said, would you do the deal then? They said, yeah. I said, I did. I built it. Let's get to work. And so that's where Guest came around.
All right, so let's hop up to current times. Startup Westport, ThoughtPartnr.
Startup Westport is just...
What brought you from New York City to Westport? You just said, I'm out?
God. No, my wife, guys. Yeah. My wife was born and raised. Yeah, my wife was born and raised out here in Connecticut. And we would go out to see grandma. All right, and we were driving back one summer day and we were picking up a truck at the Lexus dealer. And they were like, test drive it. So we drove around Westport. We went by Campo Beach. We went Main Street. I said, where are we?
This is pretty dope.
I was like, but also, let me just also tell you, my wife and I met in the Hamptons. So there was this, it got that nostalgic vibe of the Hamptons somewhere. And I said, well, how far are we from the city? She said, we're an hour 10. I said, wow, let's check it out. And the schools were at 10. Yeah. So that was another thing. We were trying to get our son into poly prep and he didn't get in Brooklyn. So it was kind of like, okay, let's make this move. Let's try it out. And I've been there, proud to say I've been there 7 years now, 7 to 8 years. But let me tell you what happened when COVID happened, guys. Me and a bunch of the other colleagues out there weren't going into the city like we used to, right? So it was a bunch of tech founders, bunch of VCs, a bunch of private equity guys. We all got together, and with the mayor of the town at the time, it was Jen Tucker and Chief Fody, and said, let's create a public-private partnership, and we'll create this Silicon Valley East. Between Boston and New York, you have Westport. And we'll actually branch out to all the other neighboring towns, but we're going to create an ecosystem, a tech ecosystem with private equity, hedge fund, family offices, meet visionaries. So we all come together. If you've been to any of our Startup Westport events, you'll see.
That one event I went to for the holidays was amazing.
Yeah, man. And then we do Global Innovator of the Year Award. We've given it to Jimmy Pitaro, from the chairman of ESPN. We've also, who else? Mark Shapiro runs Endeavor Entertainment. We gave him an award. So every year our Oscars is like the Global Innovator of the Year Award. We give it to someone. And then the thing that we're most proud of is our mentor-mentee program. It's about 150 mentors and about 120 mentees. So these are startup founders that have an idea. They get matched up with vertical experts in their area. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. So
Jay,
it's really exciting.
what's the best way you're killing it. You're a true visionary, and you got your hands in all the right pots, it seems like, and we can't wait to work together with you.
And I'm looking forward to it.
But how can folks learn more about Startup Westport, ThoughtPartnr, and get involved?
Essentially, you can definitely go to startupwestport.org to get involved there. We started with 4 of us. It's about 3,100
And they're
members.
monthly networking events.
Monthly networking. Matter of fact, the next event is 2/5 coming up, Thursday, 2/5, February 5th. It's coming up, I think, a couple weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be good. And we do that first Thursday of every month. And then we have our mentor-mentee. Then we have special interest groups that happen as well. So if you're interested in AI, if you're interested in biotech, like we'll do special interest groups where you'll come by. And we do those now at Serendipity Labs there in town.
So startupwestport.org.
.org is that, yep.
And ThoughtPartnr?
ThoughtPartnr is ThoughtPartnr. ThoughtPartnr. But in partner, you take out the E. We had to trademark it. So it's thoughtpartner.com. So you take out the E in partner. So it's PARTNR.com. So it's ThoughtPartnr, all one word. All right, that's that .com there. And then there's Guest. Guest is GUESST. We added an S to trademark purposes because Hilton owned the trademark to Guest, like host of the Guest. And so that's guest.co. And also, you can just find all this on the jaynorris.co.
Got it.
Yeah, Jay Norris, J-Y, Norris.co.
Excellent, my brother. Thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
This was a
man.
pleasure. We'll have you back because you're doing a whole other philanthropic venture as well. So we want to get you back for that, and we'll talk about that.
Looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to it. I love what you're doing. You guys keep up the good work, man. It's really great.
Thank you. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening to this episode of Mission Control. Until next time, this is your host, Ramon Peralta with Peralta Design, and we launch brands.